This is happiness, to be everything at once. Be unblinded, be unlearned, be unbridled and unburned.
Hey everyone, welcome back to a brand new episode of Mood Prep. My name is Dave Nixon, and continuing on with the delightful coaching commandments today. Once again, apply it to your life how you see fit, because it extends well past the fitness industry of the trainer, coach, instructor, etc. etc. It extends into many areas of life. However, today we're going to go through, it's technically commandment number 8. Student first, teacher second. So, I guess the underlying truth to this whole commandment is that you are always the student, even when you're teaching. So to teach is to learn twice, but even when you're teaching, you're still the student. You should be listening and paying attention to what you're saying, and maybe potentially your biases or your triggers that may sort of arise during conversations and coaching and teaching. And the other thing is that you also should be really learning how to listen to the people in front of you as well. And I'm saying, like, not listen to solve their problems, like listen to understand, like truly understand. It's called sacred listening, not empathetically listening. So the difference there is that often an empathetic listening is really common. It's when we're listening, and while the person's talking, we're playing through our head scenarios that might suit a solution for them. Maybe it's trying to figure out, I know what that feels like because I've done that and I've had a very similar feeling. And I even use the same words, but really we still don't know what this person has actually felt or thought or seen in their mind, because that's their experience. It's not ours. And so we might have a similar experience, but it's not the same. In fact, sometimes saying I know what that feels like is actually breaking rapport, not actually matching rapport, funnily enough. So the beautiful thing in being the student first here is actually always listening to understand. And it goes back to the old Stephen Covey. I'm certain I said this in just a podcast the other day. It's like, seek first, understand, then be understood. And so from that space, we will always be the student. And the reason being is because we're always growing and learning, because we can read, we can study, we can do courses, we can do all of these things. But if we're not applying it, then we won't embody it. So out of this podcast, right, out of all these other sort of learnings, we have to actually apply it. We have to have this active learning approach. And so that's the fastest way to embodiment anyway. But the beautiful thing is that we have the opportunity to do that in every single moment. Every single moment. We have an opportunity to listen, both to the person talking and to ourselves as well. And so students don't always, it doesn't always presuppose that you've done a course, or that you've done you're in a classroom, or you're whatever. It just means that you're constantly engaging with reality in this moment, with the mindset to pay attention to what's really going on, right? To see what's really arising in that moment, and giving it an opportunity to treat the moment as its own moment, rather than just carbon copy of how we've reacted in the past. And I feel like above all, this is probably like one of the most important ones, and it's because as soon as we stop being the student, we stop becoming the teacher, right? We stop being able to grow, because my development is your development, and your development is somebody else's development, right? And in a client-coach relationship, their development should also be my development. So I should be learning and paying attention to their development to see what sort of things I can add and I can learn in that space as well. And then my development, outside of my conversations and work and training and all that stuff with these people, is their development. And so that's where there's a constant unraveling, a constant unfolding, a constant unboxing of ourselves and our own learning, and most of the time unlearning what's really going on and what's really important. And so I think the underpinning thing for this, it reminds me, I wrote, so in our gym we have what's called Health IQ, which refers to our knowledge of how food, movement, and thinking effectively impact our world, our life, our reality. I also have another thing called Coach IQ, right? So Health IQ is looking at move, mind, and mouth, or nutrition. Coach IQ looks at move, mind, and then marketplace, right? The ability for one to take their knowledge to the marketplace to benefit people long term. Funnily enough, in the mind space, there's 3 areas where we develop, right? In the Coach IQ space, move, mind, and marketplace, like I just mentioned. In the mind one, right, each area has 3 stages, but it's more like, rather than a hierarchy of stages, it's a holarchy, which means you must transcend and include. So you must transcend and then include what you've actually transcended. So what that means is that, for example, with movement, there's safe, strong, sexy, right? So we first must make it safe, and then we develop strong. But strong is not just a reference to how much weight's on the bar. Strong is a reference to how well we know our body, right? How well we know that we should pull things back, we should push things forward, whatever the case might be with that. But we must take safety with us. If we don't take safety with us, then we're not actually getting stronger, because no one's strong when they're injured. So the idea there is that, moving on to sexy, is movement mastery. It's the ability to continually develop strong movement patterns safely, that we actually end up building such a movement mastery that we can start to really tap into the movement patterns, if we were to call it that only the select few really have access to, in that sense, movement mastery. So that's the movement part, right? With Coach IQ and the mind part, we start looking at what's called student, scholar, and sage. Now, students, the first one. Students are actually when they so many people do their certifications in the fitness industry. Maybe this is relevant in other industries, and then they stop learning, right? I've done my learning. I've got my cert. It's like, you don't know fucking shit. You don't know anything. You've basically got a little bit of paper that says you're allowed to start learning now, right? Because real learning happens after that. The real learning happens after that. And so we must first become the student of going, hang on a sec, I need to learn more here. And then over time we start to move into the scholar stage, but we're always the student. Looking at scholar is really referring to like a hunger for knowledge and an experience of continually bringing in knowledge and then packaging it all together, right? So the scholar has phenomenal knowledge. The sage level, or sage stage, there you go, includes wisdom. It includes the ability to continue to express my knowledge and cross that over with experience to embodiment, so that I have this wisdom that can arise in every moment. So it's not just this is the knowledge, almost the academic side of things, but this is also what's actually really important from a meaning structure space. And so that level there is actually always still, the sage is always still the student. In fact, they only got to be in sage because they're the student. So this is one of the key things of all this message, right? Is that we're looking at that no matter what, you are the student in every area. And the second you stop developing, stop learning, right, is the second everyone around you stop learning as well. So your world is literally a fucking mirror for you. So continue to learn. On that note, team, if you want to learn more, you should totally come to my Mood Prep seminar. Lol. My Mood Prep... I can't believe I just said lol. I'm not taking that out. Mood Prep seminar, it's on the 21st and 22nd of September. It's under 2 weeks left. I believe the last of the early bird tickets are on sale now, and they're going to change. What's today? I think they change on Friday, and then it's done. No more early bird whatsoever at all. So you need to get on it there. 21st, 22nd of September in Sydney. Find out more on my website, davenixon.com.au. Just go to the seminars tab, or jump on Facebook, Mood Prep community, and go from there. Until tomorrow, team, you know the deal. Peace and pizza. Kick today in the dick. Slay the dragon. I'll see you guys soon.
To be everything at once, be unblinded, be unlearned, be unbridled and unburned.